Hello everyone. Garrosh, with the help of the bronze dragon Kairos Dormu, he escaped from his prison at the end of his trial. Together, they travel back in time to an alternate reality where Garrosh found his father, Gromash Hellscream, and they formed a new horde, the so-called Iron Horde. With a piece of the Vision of Time, they managed to link the Dark Portal to our Dark Portal, and the Iron Horde began their invasion. Warlord Zela, still very loyal to Garrosh, she was left behind in Azeroth, and she welcomed the Iron Horde with open arms. Their invasion was swift, and they brought down Nethergard Keep, which has stood watch over the Dark Portal for years. Heroes of the Horde and Alliance, they were summoned to repel the initial invasion, and they managed to clear the blasted lands and open a path to the Dark Portal. Now they faced an impossible task. Some would call it a suicide mission, since they'll have to go through the Dark Portal and bring the fight to the Iron Horde itself. The Iron Horde has to be stopped. We'll have to find Garrosh and bring him to justice. But most of all, we need to make sure that any threats from this alternate reality is dismantled and taken care of.
Summon our champions! Make ready for war! Azeroth needs its heroes now, more than ever.
The first strike team consists of adventurers from both the Alliance and the Horde, but also several powerful heroes. Amongst them, Lady Liadrin, first of the Blood Knights, who stepped away from Kilfa's Sunstrider as his betrayal became clear during the Burning Crusade. She joined Adal and the Naru in their fight against Kilfa's and the Burning Legion, with the result of a restored Sunwell for all of her people. She now wields Quel'Dalar, a weapon restored to power by adventurers during Wrath of the Lich King, but it's unknown how she got her hands on a weapon or if this is even canon. Next we got Cordana Felsong, an unknown character in World of Warcraft up to this point. She's decided to join the team. A lot of people confuse her with Maiev Shadowsong, but she only looks similar since they're both Wardens. The Wardens used to follow Maiev's orders, but Maiev, during the novel Stormrage, she lost her mind and she tried to kill several High Elves and even Malfurion Stormrage. Her brother, Jared Shadowsong, he saved Malfurion's life. He scared away his sister, and he took control over the Wardens, and now apparently Cordana joins the team. She teams up with Khadgar, and she joins this initial strike force. Then there is Thrall, former Warchief of the Horde, now the most powerful shaman on Azeroth. Thrall has saved the world several times. He even helped the Aspects with bringing down Deathwing. He has found a mate, Agra. He now has a child. Agra is pregnant again, and Thrall still feels responsible for Garrosh and wants to bring him to justice while also saving the world again. Vindicata Marad, part of the Burning Crusade cinematic, but never truly used in the game. In the comics, he helped out his niece Garona Half-Orcan and her son Madan with taking on Cho'Gall and putting Madan on the path to become the new Guardian. Marad carries a great burden with him, since in his time he failed to protect a group of Draenei, as he chose vengeance over guiding them safely out of the city. We don't often get a chance to go back in time and do things differently, but with the opening of the Dark Portal, Marad might get a second chance to do things right. He is willing to lay down his life to prevent history from repeating itself and save the Draenei of this alternate reality. Finally, there is Khadgar, former student of the Guardian Medivh, member of the Sons of Lothar. Khadgar has battled against the original Horde during their first and second invasion, and he's been on a similar suicide mission before. His team back then closed the Dark Portal to prevent Azeroth from being destroyed, but the Dark Portal reopened during the Burning Crusade, and we found Khadgar together with the Naru Adal working against the Burning Legion. Khadgar also played a role in helping Madan become the new Guardian, but some way, somehow, he himself now holds a Tish. A Tish has always belonged to the Guardians. It passed on from one to the other, so time will tell if Khadgar has taken up the role as Guardian, or if the weapon is just a placeholder, a mistake, or not really part of the lore. Either way, Khadgar is once again willing to step through the Dark Portal and save the world of Azeroth from the Iron Horde.
This is our chance! Storm the portal!
A massive Iron Horde army waits for us at the other end of the portal. First order of business is to disconnect the Dark Portal from Azeroth, and a letter with the mark of the Warsong clan, it explains that the Iron Horde has taken Gul'dan and the Shadow Council and is using them to power the portal.
You strange invaders. You seek to disable the Dark Portal. I can help you. Just set me free. Those iron cowards were using us as conduits to power their portal. They will regret that. The Shadow Council thanks you.
Terangor, in our reality, he was also a member of Gul'dan's Shadow Council, and he became the first of Gul'dan's Death Knights created to fight against the Alliance during the first Horde invasion. The invasion would fail, of course, but Terangor, he would come up with a new plan. They could reopen the Dark Portal, collect artifacts from Azeroth, and use those artifacts to create more portals to different worlds. Their plan was successful, but Terangor, he would not live to see the portals created. He lost his battle against the Paladin Yrel at the Black Temple, but he would later accidentally be resurrected by adventurers during the Burning Crusade. The last time that we fought against him was in the Black Temple, and who knows if Terangor is truly dead or if he will return again. In this reality, Terangor is still in his orcish body and he was used to power the Dark Portal. We set him free and we move to the second prisoner.
Iron Horde! The intruders are freeing our prisoners! Stop them! You, outsider! Destroy that relic and set us free!
Crush the relic! Yes, smash the relic!
Seek out Gul'dan if you truly wish to stop the Iron Horde!
Yes, Gul'dan! Gul'dan powers the portal!
Cho'Gall in our reality, again, was also a member of Gul'dan's Shadow Council, and back then being a two-headed ogre was considered to be a very rare thing. Cho'Gall was intelligent, and Gul'dan taught him a lot of tricks, but once Gul'dan lost his life, Cho'Gall started to serve other masters in hopes of bringing about the end of the world. He served the old god C'Thun, but he was defeated by Medan, and then he served the old god N'Zoth during the Cataclysm, but then he was killed by us. In this reality, Cho'Gall is still serving Gul'dan, and he explains that Gul'dan is the key to depowering the portal.
For Azeroth. Use whatever means are necessary, champion. Azeroth's final hope lies with you.
Sever my bonds, and the portal falls. The bonds weaken. Freedom will be mine.
Gul'dan from our reality was probably the most evil orc in existence. He stepped up when his former mentor Ner'zhul refused to follow Kil'jaeden's orders, since Kil'jaeden had not the best intentions for the orcs in mind. Gul'dan didn't care about that, he was more than willing to sacrifice anything to gain more power, and he led the orcs down a very dark path. Eventually, he even offered them the blood of Manaroth as a gift, but in reality, this blood made them slaves to the Legion. The orcs, they exterminated nearly all of the Draenor just as Kil'jaeden wanted, but the promised power never came. Kil'jaeden, he left the orcs to their fate, left them to rot on a corrupted dry planet, and this led to the first invasion of Azeroth. Gul'dan's lust for power would eventually be the end of him. In the Tomb of Sargeras, where he thought that great power was waiting for him, he lost his life to the demonic forces inside. Even in death, Gul'dan's skull influenced major events in the story, but in this reality, he is still very much alive, and the Iron Horde is using him to power the Dark Portal. The orcs, they refused to drink from the blood of Manaroth this time, since Garrosh, he warned his father about Gul'dan. Another major difference is that apparently Gul'dan decided to drink from the blood himself this time, and now with Garrosh interfering, all his plans are destroyed, things did not go as they were supposed to go, but Gul'dan isn't done yet. We liberate him, we set him free, and you can be sure that Gul'dan will try to rise to power once more, and we'll have to take care of him.
Do not delay, mortal. I can feel the life essence of your armies fading. There will be time for regret later. We will meet again.
Gul'dan is a problem for later. Our initial plan is a success and the dark portal is disconnected. However, this does mean that we're now trapped on Draenor and the vast army of the Iron Horde is ready to overwhelm us and murder us. Time to get the hell out of there.
Be vigilant, friend. The vanguard is falling. We will not let their great sacrifice be in vain. In here! Knowledge is power. We will find a way through this. We cannot stay here long. Soon, the entirety of the Iron Horde will be upon us. Our champion will stay back and disrupt the enemy camp. The rest of us will seek safe passage through the jungle.
Good luck.
The beauty of the Tanaan Jungle introduction storyline is that we get a taste of the different clans and we're introduced to most of the warlords. Tanaan Jungle is home to the Bleeding Hollow clan, and while the rest of our party moves on ahead, we take care of a few orcs, we burn down their huts and we liberate some of their prisoners. Up ahead, the Eye of Kilrogg is keeping an eye on things and our party, it will not be able to sneak by undetected. Together with Ariok, we're going to distract the Eye so that the rest of the party they can sneak by and move on while the Eye is focused on us.
MacLeod, be safe. You and I against an entire clan. Sounds like my kind of fight. The Bleeding Hollow orcs use savage blood magic to transform their warriors into hulking berserkers. With any luck, we will escape before they can complete their transformation ritual. Here we stand, cowards! Come, fight us! They seem focused on their ritual. Maybe destroying those blood orbs will get their attention. I can see you. It looks like Khadgar and the rest are on the move. Our work is nearly done, champion. Look! Look what dragged itself through my jungle. Fresh meat.
Kilrogg Deadeye, Warlord of the Bleeding Hollow clan. In our reality, Kilrogg he led a long life, and as he grew older, he became more reluctant to send his orcs into war to throw away orc lives. Some saw this as a weakness, and they went as far as to challenge their war chief, but Kilrogg he was no pushover, and he took down each and every one of them that dared to challenge his ruling. In the Bleeding Hollow clan, it's tradition for chieftains to sacrifice one of their eyes in order to receive a vision of their own demise. This vision would then dictate how they would lead the clan, and Kilrogg's vision, it showed him killing his own father and leading his clan to a better future. His moment of demise in our reality came in Auchindoun as Kilrogg tried to hold back the alliance as they were chasing Ner'zhul. Ner'zhul had the artifacts required, he was ready to create his portals, and Kilrogg's sacrifice, it allowed him to escape to the Black Temple and make his portals.
I know what I must do. Blood and honor! Go find Khadgar.
Ariok jumps down into the ritual, transforming himself into a hulking orc. He buys us enough time to make an escape and get to Khadgar, but it's unknown what exactly happened to him. Tanaan Jungle was supposed to be part of the initial release content, but it has been pushed back, so who knows if we might see Ariok again, who knows if his story continues, or if they killed him.
First, we deal with the bridge. Now, let's get moving.
Prisoners in the Karkafar proving grounds are being beaten and tormented, but one orc amongst them is receiving special treatment. They've tied him to a stake and are slowly burning him for their amusement, so we're going to save Seer Drek'Thar. Alliance players are sent in to rescue Exarch Maladar.
I feel the flames dying down. What is happening, Exarch?
We have a visitor. Perhaps a savior. We are freed! Follow me, shaman. We will escape through the hills.
Farseer Drek'Thar is a shaman of the Frostwolf clan, and this is the same clan that Thrall's parents belonged to. In our reality, Drek'Thar, he was a respected shaman, but even he was deceived by the visions of Kil'jaeden, and he supported Ner'zhul's decision into going to war against the Draenei. Over time, the elements of Draenor, they would refuse to help the orcs fight the Draenei, since the elements did not agree with the dark path the orcs were following. To compensate, Kil'jaeden granted the orcs demonic powers, and even though Durotan had his doubts about these demonic powers, Drek'Thar and most of the shamans embraced them willingly. Eventually, Durotan, Thrall's father and leader of the Frostwolf clan, he would speak out against Gul'dan and the things that the Horde were doing. This was around the time of the first Horde invasion, and for his actions, for speaking out, Durotan and his clan were exiled. Drek'Thar, he stepped away from the Warlock's path and he rediscovered the path of the shaman. He was the one who would eventually tell Thrall the history of his parents, and he was overjoyed to find out that Thrall was one of the first new orcish shamans ever since the elements stepped away. He would remain at Thrall's side, and some of you might remember seeing him in Alterac Valley, but the years were not kind and Drek'Thar would become senile and stuck in a wheelchair. In this reality, we see a much younger Drek'Thar, still in his prime and still an extremely powerful shaman. Now for Exarch Maladar, unfortunately there isn't much known about him, at least in our reality, since by the time that we meet him, he's already gone over to the dark side and he's the second boss of the Akunai Crypts. The Dungeon Journal says, "The sole living remnant of the glory that once strode the halls of Akunai, Maladar has been driven mad by the loss of everyone and everything he ever loved. His lunatic dedication to the preservation of the memory has driven him to a mastery of the dark arts." For those unaware, Auchindoun, it was a holy place for the Draenei, the location where they would place their dead, but it was blown up by agents of the Shadow Council. These agents, they tried to summon a creature of immense evil, but they bit off a bit more than they could chew, and they summoned the primordial essence of sound known as Murmur. This caused a gigantic explosion, blowing up Auchindoun and scattering bones of dead Draenei all over the place. We'll find more about Maladar from this reality in Shadowmoon Valley, so we'll come back to him as we cover that story. For now, we can't hide it forever, and we gotta go.
Come back in one piece. We cannot hide here forever. Follow me, and stay close.
A combat arena. This may be a trap, but at least we'll die with honor.
This slaver and torturer knows nothing of honor.
You have entered my arena, strangers. You will either leave it as victors or as corpses. Now, kill your 100 or die trying.
Kargov Bladefist was raised as a slave by the ogres, and he tried to find his way out by fighting in the arena for the ogres' amusement. 100 orcish lives he would have to take in order to win his freedom, and 100 lives he took. Unfortunately for Kargov, the ogres, they did not hold up their end of the bargain, and he realized that if he was going to get out of there, he would have to liberate himself. He picked up a single rock, he smashed his own hand off, and he set himself free. He then looked around at all those captured with him, and he gave them the same choice, and all of them took their own hand, replaced it with a weapon, and they killed the ogres that had enslaved them. And so was the Shattered Hand clan born, with Kargov as their warlord. Now in our reality, Kargov, he stayed loyal to the Horde and Ner'zhul. He stayed behind to hold back the Alliance in Hellfire Citadel, as Ner'zhul made his way to the Black Temple. Kargov, he failed in his mission. The Alliance forces, they simply overwhelmed him, but he did survive the encounter only to serve Illidan and lead the so-called Fel Horde. Adventurers would take his life during the Burning Crusade, but in this reality, Kargov is still very much alive, and he's loyal to the Iron Horde.
I am pleased! I could watch you rats fight for hours!
Sorry, but we don't have that kind of time. Everyone, with me!
I only counted 99 kills, wizard.
Then I guess we owe you one.
After them! Don't let them get away!
Quickly! Into the cave before they thaw! There is much we can learn here. Be vigilant. Lady Liadrin, take Olin with you and scout the cave.
At your command.
Olin will join you if you play on the Horde side, while on the Alliance side you'll get Kiana Moonshadow, but both of them don't really have a story up to this point. We'll have to clear the caves of the Shadowmoon clan, and inside we find a Draenei named Yrel, which is a completely new character for Warlords of Draenor, and the WoW website says the following. Yrel is born on Draenor, and she's dedicated to her faith. She grew up in the Temple of Karabor, and she served as an acolyte. Devoted to her beliefs and her studies, she showed promise as a healer. Prophet Velen noticed her talent. He invited her to train as his pupil, and he began to teach her the value of leadership and sacrifice. But Yrel carried a dark secret within her. Velen sensed it, and he foresaw that for good or ill, she had a larger role to play. Yet, when she considered her prospects, Yrel preferred to stay inside the temple, quietly caring for those around her. Unfortunately, that ideal did not survive. Her peaceful life was shattered when the savage orc clans forced themselves into a fighting force named the Iron Horde and set out to conquer Draenor. Yrel was captured and flung into a war. Now she stands at the brink of greatness. Whatever her fate, Yrel is not destined to remain a humble acolyte in the Temple of Karabor. Draenor is in danger, and she is called to do something more, to shield her people from oblivion.
Who's there? Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one fighting these monsters. Light protect us. I had no idea. We must hurry. These Shadowmoon orcs are under the command of Ner'zhul. With his commanders dead, Ner'zhul will surely come looking for us. I see your friends in the chamber up above. I think I can get there safely.
I'll take this Draenei back to Khadgar. Stop that orc from opening that portal.
We will return with help.
Gul'dan the Breaker, he stands between us and escaping the Umbral Halls, so we have to take him out. As he goes down, he cries to Ner'zhul to come and help him out, and the Warlord himself shows up.
Ner'zhul! Help me! Worthless. Your scurrying is at an end, rats.
Ner'zhul in our reality, he was the first to be deceived by Kil'jaeden, and he got the orcs into a war with the Draenei. Over time, Ner'zhul would realize that he had been deceived, but by that time his apprentice Gul'dan, he was more than willing to step up and lead the rest of the orcs into darkness. The Draenei were nearly exterminated, Kil'jaeden left the orcs to their fates, and Gul'dan, together with Medivh, they created the Dark Portal, and they started the first Horde invasion of Azeroth. This invasion failed, and Terongor came to Ner'zhul with the plan to get artifacts and make new portals to different worlds. The Alliance, it was very close to stopping Ner'zhul, but he was faster, and he made his portals all across Draenor. He then forced those who were with him to leave their brothers and sisters behind and step through the portal, as Draenor would blow up and transform into the planet we call it today, namely Outland. What Ner'zhul didn't know was that this portal didn't take him to the Promised Land, it didn't take him to an easy, conquerable planet. Instead it took him straight to Kil'jaeden, who was still very angry with the orc for betraying him and not following his orders. After torturing Ner'zhul's soul for quite some time, Kil'jaeden decided to repurpose the orc. He transformed him into the Lich King and he sent him down to Azeroth. The events of Warcraft 3 unfolded, the Legion was summoned into Azeroth, the Legion was defeated on Azeroth, and Ner'zhul merged with Arthas. In this reality, Kil'jaeden skipped Ner'zhul altogether and he went straight for Gul'dan. As I mentioned earlier, Garrosh prevented Gul'dan from corrupting the orcs, and together with his father, they formed the Iron Horde. Ner'zhul is now offered a choice. He can either join the Iron Horde, or he and his clan can be crushed beneath it. For the sake of his people, Ner'zhul will do anything to prove his worth to Grommash, but that's the story that unfolds in Shadowmoon Valley, and we'll come back to it once we cover that story.
Not so fast, Ner'zhul.
Yes, step closer. I will bury you alive for the glory of the Iron Horde!
Get us out of here!
That was close. There is no turning back. We press on, through the very jaws of the beast.
Just in time, Khadgar teleports everyone out of the mine and into the Blackrock Quarry. We've liberated orcs and Draenei who are more than willing to fight, but they will need weapons if they want to stand a chance. Plenty of that can be found in the quarry, but time runs out and Warlord's Black Hand shows up.
What's this? What's going on down there? We will
Rise
not
up, Frost
be
Wolves.
broken.
Avenge the murder of your chieftain and reclaim the honor of our clan.
What news? Azeroth.
Ka! What good are a handful of slaves against the Blackrock war machine? Blackrocks, crush them!
Blackhand, Warlord of the Blackrock clan. In our reality, Blackhand was the warchief of the Horde during the first Horde invasion. But in truth, he was Gul'dan's puppet, as Gul'dan ruled the Horde from behind the curtains. Blackhand's second in command, Orgrim Doomhammer, he found out about Gul'dan's betrayal and the corruption of the Horde, and his honor compelled him to take action. He challenged his warchief for leadership of the Horde, he won the battle, he claimed the Horde as his own, and he made sure that corruption like Gul'dan, that dishonor like Gul'dan, would no longer play a role within the Hordes. In this reality, Blackhand is the warlord of his own clan, of the Blackrock clan, and the Blackrock clan took Garrosh's knowledge of the future, these blueprints, and they turned them into weapons. That's why you saw iron stars during the Warlord cinematic, that's why the Iron Horde has such an improved technology compared to the original Hordes.
You three, follow our champion onto the battlefield and listen for my call. I have a plan.
We are yours to command.
We take out several of the Ogron and the Orcs as Khadgar works on his plan.
We don't have much
Commander.
more time! Everyone, get to high ground!
Run with the pack.
Oh, well now, I'd say we made an impact.
We've almost made our escape, but in front of us stands a tank known as the World Breaker. Together with the Dark Iron Dwarf Talon Dark Anvil, we'll use the tank to blow up the construction of the portal, and at the same time, we'll rescue Gunnar out of the hands of the Iron Horde. Gunnar is Durotan's brother, so he's Thrall's uncle, but we'll talk more about this badass orc once we reach Frostfire Ridge. First we need to take out the massive amount of troops provided by the Iron Horde, as Talon works his magic with the tank.
Off with you. Orcs off the starboard bow!
Looks like we arrived just in time.
Hop into that turret and keep them away! I'll see if I can get this thing going. Khadgar, buy me some time!
We will do what we can, Thalen. Hero, keep these orcs off of us!
Oh, nice shot!
Tank coming over the rise! Look out!
Oh, these controls don't make sense! Remind me never to drive a tank built by an orc!
Hold strong, everyone. Here they come.
They're bringing up explosives! Destroy those carts before they get close!
There are so many of them.
Don't you give up yet, Paladin.
That's it! I've got her running! Let's finish this!
so eager to meet death. Look then upon the countless faces of your demise. Rise up, Iron Horde! Bring your war chief their heads.
Warlord, or War Chief as he calls himself, Grommash Hellscream shows himself and he calls upon the Iron Horde to take us all out. In our reality, Grom was the first to step up and embrace the gift offered by Gul'dan. He didn't know, of course, that drinking the demon blood would make him a slave, but he had always been a hothead. For example, at first he refused to listen to Ner'zhul as they all gathered to cleanse, but he was more than willing to listen once Ner'zhul mentioned killing the Draenor. Grom didn't join the first invasion of Azeroth, but he in the Warsong did join the second time, and that time the Dark Portal was closed, while Grom and his people were still on Azeroth. They were forced to hide away in the wild. They needed to stay out of the hands of the Alliance, while also having to deal with the demon blood pumping in their veins. Eventually, Thrall entered the story. He met up with Grom and the Warsong clan, and they reformed the Hordes. During the events of Warcraft 3, Grommash embraced the demon blood for a second time, but thankfully for him, Jaina, Thrall, all the others, they were able to rescue his soul, allowing him to take out Mandaroth and freeing his people from their enslavement to the Legion. In this reality, Grommash, he never had a son, which is why Kairos Dormu chose this reality. It will prevent any complications of another Garrosh walking around, and Garrosh, he told Grommash about Gul'dan, his pact with the demons, he prevented the orcs from drinking the demon blood, and he showed Grommash visions of the future. He didn't show the full story though. He didn't show Thrall or how Grommash liberated his people. He manipulated the war chief of the Warsong clan into invading Azeroth and leading the Iron Horde to get the revenge Garrosh craved. Leading the full might of the Iron Horde is a big task, so leadership of the Warsong clan has been passed on to Garrosh.
What's your bet? That danged army should be here any minute! Let's move!
The docks! Run to the docks! Run! Run!
Come at me, Hellscream! Don't be a fool, Gnar. Run! We will fight another day!
Look out! Keep moving! I see the ships ahead!
Where now?
Head for the ships at the end of the road!
This way! Go! Go! Go!
There is no place to run, outsiders! This is my world! We will find you! We Frostwolves will be waiting for you, Hellscream! You! Your ogres! Your whole Iron Horde! You're as good as dead!
Gnar is more than willing to face the might of the Iron Horde head on, but the smarter move is to retreat, build up our forces and get ready for the fight. This is where the story will split up. The Alliance players, they will go to Shadowmoon Valley, where they're greeted by Prophet Velen, as Horde players go to Frostfire Ridge, where they're greeted by Durotan. That, however, is a story for another day, since I've been going on for long enough. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, and until next time, guys. See ya!
Our bond is iron. Our will unbreakable. Who will stand against us?